This video contains a set of instructions, and on that note, let's be on the same page. For wet fry, it simply means hakuna supu, but it's not dry. It's just enough to eat your ugali. And it must be thick. And by the way, I have a clock in my kitchen, so let's get right into the video. So first I'm going to start by washing my meat, and on a normal day I do not wash my meat, but this was quite fresh, so it has more blood stains, so that's what I want to get rid of. And so I'm going to start by washing it with just water. This is about a kg of meat, less handful, so that's about roughly 850 grams of meat. Then I'm going to put it in the pot, and this is the one that I'm going to use to boil my meat, and I'm going to add about 1.5 liters of water. That's about 6 cups of water. And because I want, when the meat is ready, I want it to have some soup, and also I want to remain with some broth that I'm going to store in the fridge for some other recipes. So that's about 1.5 liters of water, and now I'm going to proceed to place this on the fire. Don't mind, this looks like a lot, but by the time we are done, it won't be a lot. So at this point, I'm going to go in with my salt, a generous amount, because nataka by the time I'm sparing some broth iko na chumvi kiasi, and also for the meat to be a little bit tender with some salt inside it. So I'm also going to add my dried pepper. Juu pia nataka the broth to be a little bit chili, but I'm not adding a lot. So this is dried pepper, and I've added about 1.5 of it. So I'm going to let this boil for about 1 hour, but sitafunikia saizi, because nikifunikia and then it starts becoming hot, it will tend to overflow because of the what I do not know. So I'm going to let it boil for about 20 to 30 minutes first. Then ikishika vizuri the boiling, I'm going to cover it and proceed to boil it for another 30 minutes. So in total I'm going to boil this for 1 hour, because I want my meat to be tender. So I'm going to leave this for about 1 hour, and then I'll be back. So in the meantime, my meat has been boiling for about 45 minutes, and these are the ingredients that we're going to be using for today's recipe. Notice that there is no cooking oil, and here I have my seasoning and a little bit of salt, and this is 1 bell pepper, 2 ripe tomatoes, and 2 onions, but you can also use 1 large onion instead. So I'm going to start by chopping them into dices. And also, I almost forgot that we need kafirifiri kwa umbali, so we are going to be using this. These are dried pepper. So I'm just going to add just what is enough. You can also use the fresh pepper, that totally works. And yeah, so I'm going to set this aside, and I guess by now it's about 55 minutes, and I'm going to drain off the broth, and then I'll show you what happens next. So this is exactly 1 hour later, exactly 60 minutes later, and let's check on this. As you can see, the water has greatly reduced, from this point to this point, it is halfway. So I'm going to strain off the excess water, and this I'm going to have it as my broth that I'm going to be using in other recipes to come. So make sure every time you boil your meat, you keep the broth. You do not have to take it all at once, or you do not have to take it at that moment. You can also store it in the fridge like I'm going to do. So this is a fridge safe container, and whoa, this looks good. So as you can see, I have drained everything, and I'm going to add just a little bit of this broth here, just to a level that covers the remaining meat. Yeah, that's enough. So for this one, I'm going to close it like this and throw it into the fridge immediately. Yeah, I know it's hot, but it's going to freeze very fine. So I'm going to put this aside, and then I'm going to start adding my other ingredients. And as you can see, yep, and my salt and seasoning right here, and then I'm going to give it a stir. Make sure that everything is well incorporated. So I'm going to cover this and cook it for another 40 to 50 minutes undisturbed. So what I mean by undisturbed is you cover this and you leave it there for another 40 minutes, or you can also do 30, and then I'll be back to show you how our wet fry looks like. So this is about 40 minutes later. I've already done cooking my ugali, and let's check on this. As you can see, it's doing quite okay. And how to know that your wet fry is ready? There should be no soup, not completely dry, but just a significant amount of soup, and it should be below the level of your meat, but not completely dry. So as you can see, this is what I mean. When you do like this, you should be able to see the bottom part of this sufuria. But then when you let it settle, you should see some soup. So this is what we have, and I'm going to let it continue for about 2 more minutes as I prepare the other side, and our meal is basically done. So as you've seen, it was that easy making this wet fry. And remember, for wet fry, it simply means hakuna supu, but it's not dry. It's just enough to eat your ugali. So I'm going to dig in. Oh. Mm. 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 Guys, this is so yummy. Effortlessly, hakuna time ya kushinda hapo. We've not used cooking oil, and you can also notice that I've not used coriander. So the flavor of this comes from the onions and the hoho and the little bit of seasoning that we added. And so I'm going to proceed to the other side, and I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll definitely see you in the next one. Bye.